What's good, everybody? Yeah, it's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. Guys, the city of Chicago is very, very interesting. We talked about, Indian Red Boy in Inglewood and all of that, but Chicago is, even worse. Rapper KTS Dre dies after being shot 64 times after leaving prison, after leaving a jail, right? So imagine coming out of jail and then somebody kills you. This is similar to something that happened in Philadelphia 2 months back. But then there is another story. A guy by the name of Lil Kevo 069 shot 16 times after dissing Lil Durk's dead brother D-Thing. Now, at the same time all of this is happening, Lil Durk gets his home raided by the FBI. Okay? Like, all of these things are revolving around Chicago rappers. King Von is now, even though he's dead, supposedly is a killer of a young lady that happened like 7 or 8 years ago. But I want to get back to this Lil Kevo thing, okay? Now, Lil Kevo or Kevo, just a few weeks ago, made this diss record, okay? And again, he was saying smoking on Von, which is a diss at King Von, okay? BDK Freestyle Part 2, all right? And smoking on D-Thing. Talking about, in the song, D-Thing was stupid going to that club and getting killed. And 2 weeks after this video drops, there he is. Okay? Now, people said that, the song had nothing to do with his death, but this is about street stuff. Okay? But really, it's more than just street stuff. I'm going to go back to the brink of why all this happens. You guys are not going to like it. Where are the fathers? Okay? I'm gonna keep telling you the real importance of communities. And I mean this at no disrespect to black women. You guys know that I'm pretty fair and honest about how black men make mistakes and stuff. I come for you, but I'm gonna tell you that, black women are not always the problem. Black men are not always the problem. But the problem today is this whole idea that we don't need one another to raise these families. Okay? I'm just dealing with that today. I'm not blaming single moms or single fathers at all, because how single mothers and these things come into fruition. And I got a video about this with Kevin Samuels, is that one of the reasons that black women feel that they don't need a man. Okay? Then black men feel like they don't need to do anything to build their communities. All they need to do is have swag. They don't have to work with their men. They don't have to achieve these things. I'm looking at this from the outside looking in, okay? And there is a duality in the problem, but if the men in these communities don't feel like they need to support them, and I don't care where you are, you could be in expensive communities or not, but when you don't have the men in the communities and the men don't feel like they need to be there, which is still partly our fault, right? I'm just gonna be honest. It's a coward move to blame women for everything, although women do choose who they sleep with. But the lack of black male success and working with other black men is not black women's fault. That is our fault, okay? But when you have people who don't want to stick it out, work together. These kids suffer. Then you have Lil Kevo. You have the brother like D-Thing. You have the brother like King Von. You have the brother like Indian Red. All of these young brothers out here get into the clout chasing game, disrespecting dead homies, doing things in the street, things that don't leave you nowhere to the graveyard, lead you nowhere but the jail cell, lead you nowhere but nowhere that you want to be. And then it just keeps on going. Keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going, keeps on going. But at the end of the day, what we have to realize is that men have to provide situations for the community. Until we get back to that, we're going to have what we're having. You cannot do anything without the men in your community. I don't care how much you want to marginalize them. They ain't this, they ain't that. If you don't have men, because women can give a lot for themselves, okay? But one thing that women cannot give as much as men can is the protection and then the discipline to raise children. That's just something that God ordained men to give. Women are to nurture, they can discipline, but you need that. If you don't have the men, you don't have a lot in that community. As far as that kind of discipline infrastructure, you don't have the businesses. Men entrepreneurs create the businesses that have skills too. Not to say that women don't, but women are more likely to work inside of companies, and then men are more likely to start them. Small businesses is what runs America. It's not big, medium-sized corporations or stuff or like that. It's small businesses, right? When you don't have these things and these skills are being passed on to the community, you get these guys who are coming up in poverty. And who suffers the most is black people in itself. All right? That's what happens. And these guys are going by the wayside. And you have the black community feeling like, well, you know, we don't need our people. Yes, you do. Now, I talk a lot about what women ain't bringing to the table a lot of times and what men ain't bringing to the table either. But until we start bringing something to the table for each other, we're going to continue to see this. Chicago already has 364 murders in July, and it's summertime. And we know how some Negroes can be in our community during the summer. That's when bodies start dropping. And they already have hit the murder rate of the whole thing in 7 months. Okay? 7 months. 364. All right? Oh, actually, it's up, not the whole thing, but they have more homicides this year than last year. Violence of levels that I have not seen since the mid-1990s. Okay? It's they have over almost 1,900 shootings. Okay? In 2019, 1,200, and this is with the cameras out. Okay? Chicago is going toward 800 homicides this year, which is ridiculous. But it all stems from a dysfunctional, fractured black family. And until we get to that, it's going to continue to happen. Guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe with the bell. Check out the first company at the top. Check out the Black Man Perfect t-shirts. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.